Hey, my name is Rue, and this is the Record of the Rainbow Witch. Um, Not in my usual place today because things are a little bit chaotic. So I'm just kind of sitting on the couch in the same room, um, filming on my laptop, new laptop for the first time, and am curious to see how that goes. But as far as things go, I haven't updated. Feels like in forever. There's been a lot going on. Today's 11/11/24, and this is like the fallout of election week, and it's been a very stressful week. I'm sure for you guys as much as it has been for me. Maybe um, we are back to reality, and it feels like a lot. There's been a lot of grounding, um, a lot of kind of centering myself to figure out what to do next. Um, so yeah, given the outcome, um, my partner and I have been thinking and making plans because there's things ahead that will affect us if this comes to be. And yeah, it hasn't been the greatest week. Um, Plus, we've had house problems too, but we're pushing through, you know? And in these kinds of situations, we have to do the best with what we have. And sometimes your best is like sitting and processing your feelings, journaling about your feelings, like having a cup of tea in a quiet space and just sitting with yourself to let things pass. Given the chaos on social media, like you see things from all sides. People from the Republican side going crazy with what they do and like the rhetoric. People from the Democratic side figuring out how this happened. A lot of people in the middle who just are going to be affected by these policies and have to plan what we're going to do next. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot. I just kind of come to this realization that like we all are here and we all are experiencing these different realities and things differently, right? What people are going to vote for and they're going to do things for them based on their immediate kind of position in life, things that reflect them, their values, their needs. And not a lot of people look towards everybody else, see how that's going to affect them. So it just seems like people vote that way for themselves, which is good. That's what democracy is about. We should be able to vote which way we want and then meet up in the middle. It's just scary, I guess, because there's a chance that democracy might not be a thing at the end of this election when he does step into power, like he has been talking about. This affects me directly because I'm a trans person, because I'm in an interracial relationship, because my partner is like like directly affected by like deportation stuff. It's been a lot. So we've been trying to figure out how we're going to process that because his parents have been like had came here from Spain. Like they originally lived in Cuba, migrated to Spain, and then they came from Spain to here. If the whole thing happens with deportation, then his family is going to go to Spain, are going to be deported back to Spain or back to Cuba. What's crazy is they are completely on his side, and there's nothing that you can really say to get through to them. But yeah, I just so we've been talking about what we're going to do, where we're going to move, how we're going to handle things. And in doing that, it's been a lot of stress. Um, so we've needed a lot of grounding, a lot of time outside in the fresh air, a lot of time like meditating in the trees, enjoying the momentary peace while we have it, because that's what it's about, right? Moment to moment things, about what we can do, what's in our power to control. And although that doesn't feel like a lot, we can't control people's reactions, but we do have the ability to control how we react to the things that are happening, directly how we respond to other people, and we have control over our own situations to an extent. Some things that happen are out of our control, like natural things. Then other times, it's just working with what we have, right? For me, I'm a, I'm a stress cleaner. Like when I start to feel overwhelmed, I have to have a clean space so that way I can think clearly and function. That's like the mundane aspect of me. A lot of times I will sit in meditation and ground to kind of get a better sense of myself. Sometimes I'll channel and figure out like what I'm supposed to know and touch base with my guides and see like how I can best align myself with what's coming, right? To know the truth and to be in aligned with my most highest self. And that's what I've been doing on this journey. Sometimes it's a tarot card pull. Sometimes it's like doing walking meditation when you're outside, like grounding and noticing everything around you and being a part of your area while you can. Just feels nice. And it's nice to decompress like that. Like the stress of the world, everything happening at once. Sometimes it can feel like a domino effect. So, like, one thing happens, then another thing happens, then another thing happens, then another thing happens. And we get so focused on all the bad things that we miss out on the smaller, good things that are happening around us. As people, we have such a tendency to, like, to kind of hyper focus on the negative, put that in the forefront of our mind. And it's so loud among everything else. In this part, I think I'm really grateful for like the Buddhist practices, the Buddhism that I've had throughout my years. I was an active Buddhist through my 20s up until about 31 or 32. I stopped in Nichiren Buddhism. But those years through practicing Buddhism, learning how to sit with myself, meditate, ground myself, listen to the world, and be present and mindful. Being mindful is being within your body and focusing on what you're doing and controlling your breath, starting from there and then focusing outward, listening to the world around you, listening to the sounds, feeling what you're doing in the moment. It's such an amazing thing. And it's so relevant to my practice. And I am so grateful to have learned that, you know, like I kind of see myself as somebody who pulls like little bits and pieces from here, from there, from everywhere. And it's an amalgamation of all these different things. Um, I can't quite say I'm a chaos witch yet because I haven't done too much in that regard, but that's kind of just where I am at the moment. Right now, I'm kind of like a like a decompression phase. Like over the last few days, like it's been chaotic We've had our water like system crash. Like like over the last 24 hours, like I've done like 13 hours worth of classwork, and like all the stuff and all the pressure is just there. Because after the election, I was a wreck, and me and my partner, we were just beside ourselves, thinking about the outcome, thinking about what happened. We had to take time to grieve our losses and to just like kind of again like ground ourselves and figure out where we are and where we're going. And we did get a grasp on that. And yes, it is sad that things might change, but we can only do what we can. Now more than ever, community is so important. Your friends, your family is so important because those are the people that you're going to rely on. Those are the people that you can go to, connect with, be with, like find solutions with, you know? And it's so imperative to have that support and be there for each other because over the next coming months, weeks, there's going to be a lot going down. And so, yeah, not to mention over the next coming months, Pluto is going to go into Aquarius. And if you look at history, right, all the times of revolution have been when we've had Pluto in Aquarius, right? You look back at the charts for the American Revolution, the French Revolution, Pluto was in Aquarius during those times. There were major world changes happening at that point. So, definitely something to consider. And I think even if you decide to leave the US, no matter where we are in the world, there's going to be that conflict and resolution. And it's not just going to be happening in one place, it's going to be happening everywhere in different ways. We can already see that in our news, right? So it's just knowing and being prepared to deal with things the best way that you can. As a gay person, as a trans person, community is incredibly important because in these times we need to be visible because like we have to be out there and to let others know, especially our youth, that we're not alone. Um, be present in the lives of the people around us. What's important in the coming months as a queer person, knowing who to support, right? Like our queer money, like our government in general in the US, like we are so corporation driven. Like people are so money driven and power driven. We act as individuals more than we do as a collective, right? And in these times, right, our dollars means a lot. For me, specifically, like strategically knowing where my money's going, who my money's going to, is how we're gonna make a difference in to start. I mean, when you look back at our history and our movements, like gay money is something that make and break things. Like who we spend money on, right? You don't want to fund the enemy in this case, or the people that don't align with your values. I want to support people locally, people that I can see grow, people that can benefit from that, right? All the corporations that funded Trump, for example, like people like Wendy's, McDonald's, those things. Like, I'm not going to put my money in those places because they don't align with my values. I would rather buy from a local mom and pop shop who's more aligned with what I do, support a business from people of color, support queer owned business or a black woman business or something that is aligned with where we are. And when everything amounts up to where it is, like when everything kind of just gets to that point, right, where it's starting to take effect. If this was a mass thing, it would hit so hard. And again, you can look into our past. Like when when we do allocate our dollars in different places, it does make a difference. Then companies start to change, things start to change. And that's just one way. It's not the end all be all. That's just the beginning. But there's so much that we can do, and there's so much to think about, and there's so much going on, right? I think as a student of history, like when you look back, like you can see all these things kind of like lining up. And like we have to know where we're going. I think the past is great because you can see where we were and you can see what worked. You can see the things that happened. But that's also a road to our future. Like though our times have changed, we have different technologies. There's still things that we can learn from our past, the people that came before us to make way for the future. And that takes steps, right? It doesn't just happen all at once. It's those things, it's like a ladder, it's rung by rung by rung by rung till you get to the top or to where you need to be, step by step by step. But we're so, like, we are so part of that generation that's instant gratification. It's just so easy to miss. But I don't know. I'm so sorry for this long winded rant. I feel like I've needed that. I know I'm not the best person to talk either because I have such a monotone voice, but like, this is what I need right now, I think. I'm so grateful for this journal so I can share my story and just add to it as time goes on. And if somebody looks back and can see this as it's happening, like maybe in the future, then I don't know. You'll have seen a piece of history, I guess. But yeah, besides that, like, there's so much spell work wise. I did like a road opening spell for money, and I've had a couple opportunities come from that. Um, our friends who own the stand up the street, um, they kind of gave us the opportunity to sell baked goods and stuff, so we have an extra income coming in there, which is pretty helpful. Um, yeah, new opportunities as far as like placements. I've been like reaching out to different um, companies and stuff for my school stuff, and I've been able to network with different people, which has been really cool. Um, my partner has had a lot of opportunities come, so that's been pretty cool, and we have new ideas that are generating. So it's kind of sparked this like creativity in us, and I'm grateful for that. Also, gratitude is something that is so great in switching your mindset, right? Because like gratitude, when you think about it and kind of like sit on it for a little bit, like it takes us from that point of lack and brings us back to this point of humility because we're looking at life and we're seeing it for where we are and who's in it. And we can start, even though there are negative things happening, helps us appreciate the good things in life. And it's so great to have that, the ability to shift your mindset like that. It's so powerful, you know? And I'm sure, like, looking into it, like, there's herbs and spices that can aid that, you know, in different things that we do. Like, we can be appreciative of apples or coffee or, like, the sun, like, having a rainy day, seeing a rainbow, like, your cat being alive and well, like, things that happen, like, simple things like your water's running, like your airflow is flowing, your car is working. Like we live in a place where we don't have to worry about bombs dropping right now. Like we're completely intact, right? Simple, simple things. Having the people in our lives, having woke up today, like it's so easy to get bogged down by the days. But when you think about gratitude and those things, it's so life changing, right? I don't know. Journaling helps a lot. I was just watching an interview uh, with Ivy on her channel, and she was interviewing a witch, and I don't remember her name, and I feel so bad because I can't think of it off the top of my head. They were talking about journaling and like using that as a tool, you know, to explore like yourself, the darkness, work through your issues. Like you have something to show and leave behind to somebody else later on as proof that you were here. Maybe you plan on having kids, and this is a way that they can see exactly who you are. It's so cathartic and so healing to actually like have something that you can just talk to. For me, video journaling is something new, something I want to get more consistent in doing and just build up so that way I can keep track of the things that happen day to day. So I have a record of where I've been, just in case something happens to me. Like you'd be able to see me in the times before I passed, to know exactly where I was, what happened, what was going on in my life, and what led up to this. And I think it's just a great tool. We live in such a great age of technology. And I'm pretty sure like we're this technical before, but we probably lost it in the ages. But where we are now is fantastic. And I'm grateful to be in a time like this. And although things might be changing, like we still have the ability to do what we do and do what we can with the tools that we have. Continue to work in the ways that we do. Um, yeah. So yesterday I did some channeling because I was overwhelmed. Um, and I was trying to get myself into a headspace to where I could work through all the craziness of my coursework. It was like 9 hours of stuff, and I just had to get down to it. So I just sat and I meditated, and I had meditated for the longest time. Like I lost myself, and I come back, and it was like 2 hours later, and I was just like, oh fuck. But I learned a lot. I don't know. There's such introspection that happens when I meditate personally. Like sometimes it's for grounding purposes, but sometimes helps me connect to my higher self. Sometimes like I channel stuff through meditation. Sometimes it's just sitting and being there with yourself. And sometimes I journal my thoughts and just channel whatever comes to top of mind. Just write it down. And then after the meditation, either like the next day or like later on, I'll read back over all the things that I typed. Usually there's something to learn, right? So I've been connecting with deities and spirits and stuff, and have kind of pulling different things that I wasn't expecting, like this connection to the Yoruba, which is an African close practice, and it's coming through strong. Not something that I was ready for. In the same meditation, connected with like Jesus of Nazareth. So the Christian that I'd been avoiding coming through, pulled that in, pulled in Hecate, Lilith, just there's so many different things were coming in. It was like a cacophony of different deities just coming in. And that was interesting. Wasn't expecting that. But I learned that I'm aware of what's happening, that I need to be myself presently, the like the stay or go of everything, right? There's a massive piece of me that is just yearning to fight because of who I am, the people that came before us, and to just represent myself and do what's needed. Whereas the other part of me is just like, yeah, we need to go because we need to get our partner to safety. So that way he can choose whether or not he wants to go at his this time or at that time or at that time. And it's like being torn. And so different people, it's like having the devil and the angel on your shoulder. It's like I'm hearing stuff from beings that are just like, yes, you need to go. And then the other one is just like, you need to fight. And I am so torn. So torn. Actually, because this is my journal, I'm just going to read my spew of thoughts, right? No judgment, right? Right? My journal, anyways. But, yeah, so I was just note taking. Literally, this is everything. Leave my partners for an indefinite amount of time because there are things that I'm meant to learn. Yoruba, go deep where you slept. Everything is going to be alright. Everything is going to be okay. The veil is thin and things are happening. We roam freely, ever so close and yet so far. Everything the light touches is your kingdom. I am greatest moments. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Registered to vote, but not counted. Storm. And we'll make it out alive, you and I. Japanese parents. Kids who have brought them nothing but grief, born from another meeting within the last life. Your kin, yourself, your troubles, your concerns, your anguish, your epiphany, your ableism, your validation, your variation, your unique. You are one. You are soul searching. You are profound. You are delight. You are strong. You are a cacophony. You are amazing. You are courageous. You know how to fight your battles. You are not alone. You walk with many, in spirit, in tribe. You are native. You are among us. You are within yourself. You are confident. You are confiding in me. You are awakened. You are a cacophony. You are struggling. You are grasping. You are correctly assuming. You are unbiased. You are faithful and faithless. Come hither. You will find yourself at sea. You will begin to understand your purpose. You must move on ahead. You cower because you do not wish to lose those you love. But there's so much to live and love ahead of you. You're wrong. Deep within me there resides a great whale. You are blessed with the soul. You are much too kind. You are deep. You have not scratched the surface. Your truth you wish to find is within yourself. The answers to all that you seek are here. A cacophony. You belong to the Yoruba. You belong to the Greek. You belong to the sea. You are first yourself. You're indigenous. You're surrounded by those who love you. You do not see how far they have come to see you, how far they have come to lead you, how far they have come to make sure you figure out and follow them down the road and to the right place to see. You belong to me. I am your God. You are mine. You are everyone's. You are blessed. You are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You should be exploring and find your light and your path. You belong to Jesus of Nazareth. You are Yoruba. You are Greek. You are neither of those things, but amalgamation of everything. You are made of starlight. You are meant to wander. You recluse. You behold the power of those past and future. You behold and bestow the power of those present. You are constrained. Cacophony of the light and the darkness. The lone wolf. You wild and free. You belong to the nation. Your tribe is here. Your values are here. Your succession is here. Your Buddha nature is here. Your confidence is here. Your heart swells here. You dare to be here. Love is more than your own dick. Love is freedom. Love is contagious. It's kindness and power. It's triumphant. It's careful and careless. Love is spontaneous. It's charismatic. It swells like the river when it meets the ocean. Your counterparts will be okay and they will support you. You may maintain a relationship with them as you embark on your journey. You must go. With or without them, you must ride the waves. You must carry your weight. Your value is more than just your journey. It's your presence and your time. It's numbered, it's welcome, it's current, it's conscious. The wellspring, your knowledge of the afterlife, the conscious stream of information, the continuity, the chaos. You know the truth. You seek the truth. You spread the truth. The world is an amalgamation of lies and deceit. You're anchored and tethered towards the truth. You read the stars. You know that is your path to tell the truth. You're consciously aware of it. You understand it. You must make light of it. It's a combination of business models and workings. You must follow your soul to the truth. You must break down the walls of misunderstanding. You must make clear clarity, your honor, your guidance, your courage, your contagion, your honesty, your life. You must make well of this. Be light for others. Show kindness to others. Show kindness to yourself. Be cruel to those who deserve it when needed, but mostly be kind. Be deserving of love. Be ambitious with your dreams and desires. Show up in the world. Practice magic. Follow Hecate. Follow Zeus. Follow Yaruba. Follow Jacob. Follow me. I'm Jesus. Follow those who make life meaningful. Be kind and be aware of those who love you. Be kind and be aware of those who are out to hurt you. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your power, your ambition to learn, and the things that you do. You are allowed to worship whoever you desire, even my Father. You are on your own, but you are not alone. You never are and you never will be. Your place is here. You will find yourself in history books. You will find yourself on TV. Be aware of things. Be aware of the light that is not our light. Be aware of malicious nature of people. Be aware of the old. Be aware of those that echo do not see kindness and equality. Be aware of your neighbors and yourself. Live out loud. Live lovingly. Live open. Be kind. Carry strength. Heart. Hold on high. Holy days are okay. You will fall unto and fail sometimes. You will find your best regard. Jesus of Nazareth. You will find your temple. You will find your time. Be ready to experience many. Be ready to follow whole pantheons. Be ready for droves and droves. I know that was a lot. I'm sorry for my monotone voice. Just where I'm at. That's what came through. Um, Super personal, but that's honestly where I was. And I'm not sure what everything means. Um, but I guess take it in stride and figure things out as we go. If you make it this far, for some reason you're still watching this video, um, thank you, I guess, and all the best to you. I wish you well, and good luck on your journey.